Testing, testing. Is this going to work? Trying something different. Is the internet going to be a jerk? Am I live? Or am I just talking to myself? I can't tell if it's running yet. Alright, so I'm gonna hit test. Alright, that seems to work. Is it going anywhere though? Alright, I'll leave you here. Audio looks like it's happening. Hey Pat, can you hear this? Can you see? All right, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna assume it's working. See what happens. You guys can see the start streaming screen, right? All you little chipmunks. Audio is happening. All right, my numbers are popping up now. Okay, I think it's actually working. Tried something a little different today. So let's hit the intro and see if it all works. 4, 3, 2, 1. Here's the intro to this thing. Ran out of words, didn't have a rhyming thing. Rippy shoots. Out of the way, ripples. Hello and welcome once again to No Such Thing as Grown Ups Live. Forgot to tuck my foot up underneath before I started. There we go. It's a lot harder to jam it in there underneath all this board and stuff after the fact. Is this in the right place? It's a little bit darker than intended. Probably easier to move this down and push this up. And tilt. There we go. I already started drawing this one a little bit. I will add some dinosaur head to it in a bit. I have to set my phone to not go to sleep so I can read what's happening. Stay awake forever, phone. Don't you dare stop. 'Cause you're my forever phone. And you play my hip hop. You have all my songs and all my emails too. Oh, sweet phone. I die without you. I die without you. Anyway, today, we got my phone. Is that on the... Alright, as long as that's not on the camera, that's weird. It's got a little bit of watercolor paper here. I've got a cartoon to show today, which some of you have probably already seen. And... oh, I have some other stories, as long as I don't forget them once we get going. And I got Major Penguin here, indignantly hanging out, but he's not enjoying it because he's indignant. Anyway, this is the other things that I got in the sketchbook. Oh, let's go to the other camera. So I did this the other day, messing around with, there's an ad for the books you can buy. Book of Sexy Dinosaurs. So this is an Instagram model with some donuts on her boobs. And that's good old Jessica Drew, the Spider Woman. She can fly, shoots like electricity out of her hands. Honestly, can't remember if she shoots webs at all. I think she might not. So that's what I did over the weekend, besides another crazy project that we'll talk about one of these days, because it's one of those things oh, it's a real Pat moment. You know how, I mean, not for Jenny or Space Goonie, who are two completely different people. Who's Jenny? Jenny who? Anyway, for everybody who isn't Space Goonie that talks to Pat when Pat's got a project coming up, let's find a dinosaur here while I rattle on. A little farther away than I intended. All right. Show me all my pictures. Just show me all the pictures. Are you in? Oh my God. Album. Just all. All right. Dinosaurs in the sky. I'll draw them on this here lady guy. Take a look. It's in a book. I always draw that guy. But anyway, yeah, I got one of those projects where it's like Pat style, where it's like, hey Pat, what's up? Oh, I got a new job coming up, or I got a lot of work to do. Oh, you do? Doing what? Can't tell you. Everything I do is a secret. I might be a murderous spy, or most likely I work on a television or movie project, and you can't talk about any of that stuff until it's out. So I got one of those that I created myself over the weekend, but as always, it's still just a variation of me hanging out with imaginary cats and penguins. And I don't know, if you follow my Instagram, you will see visual updates of the things I work on. I just won't give it a whole lot of explanation for the secret ones, but I still show you. I still show everybody everything. I'm incorrigible that way. I'm kind of in the mood for a Triceratops, you guys. It's been a while since I've drawn a Triceratops head. Alright, let's do a Styracosaurus. It's like a Triceratops with a bunch of spikes on its head. I don't know, that probably stands for like 7 or 16. A 16 tops. Thing about adding dinosaur heads to human bodies is sometimes I'm like, where do I put the neck? You know, on a Triceratops especially, where it's kind of like its head is down and it kind of comes out like that, and then I'm putting it up like, all right, we're just gonna go up instead. Get a little bit of our structure in there, and then this time I did the drawing first, so I want to play more with the markers than trying to do the markers and the drawings at the same time within stream time, because that gets a little out of hand. Oh, and speaking of stream time, the thing that I was wondering, hey, is it working or not? Reason was because I ran everything through another thing stream-wise, ran the whole stream through. So I didn't really say anything this week. I'll check and see that it works at some point during the stream, I guess. But yeah, it should be. It should be. In theory, the stream is also streaming on YouTube and on Mixer at the same time as it's streaming on Twitch right now. So, you know, for people who don't want to, I don't know if you still have to sign up to YouTube to watch or any of those things. I genuinely didn't look into any of it other than the stream may or may not be going out on those things, and I managed to jam a few links to the no such thing as grownups.com and the merch store and stuff like that, books and art on the Mixer channel page. But on Mixer, you only get 20 characters to spell out your name instead of 21, and no such thing as grownups is 21, so it's no such thing as grownups with no I in thing. Will that make things confusing? Probably, but you know, just give giving other people a chance to watch who use different venues to watch things. So that's mostly what I was doing before the stream started today. That Triceratops has barely been on camera this whole time. Once we have this established, all right. It's on the YouTubes. Wow, you guys are all over the place. I think. Oh yeah, I did manage to find the thing where you guys. I think Pat and Space Goonie. I don't believe the Chipmunks are moderators, but I think you guys are moderators or whatever the highest level of power is. So I think with some kind of slash something or other, you guys can ban people and mute people if you want. I don't know how to do it. Pat might. But I don't expect you to watch both at the same time. Let's go back to my other reference photo. And that was over here. Butterfly in the sky. Alright, let's start playing with the markers. So once you got your lines laid down, then you just go ahead, step 2, make it beautiful with colors. And then step 3 is erase the pencil lines as best you can and walk away. What color shall we do today? It's been a little while since I've done a pink Dinosaur. Those are the same marker. Color are you? You're a bit lighter. And I'll go with like this grayish blue, however that turns out for the shawl. I'll grab this blue. So just like Bob Ross, you're gonna get your colors ready, your cerulean blue, your titanium pink, and your medium cool gray. Pretend those are all real colors. They are not. There's no stab button. You can shun people. There's a shun button, but there's no stab. But speaking of stabbing people, oh yeah, and my other magic water marker. Like, ooh, this is getting pretty low on water. But anyway, this thing is fantastic. Let's go to the big camera. You can barely even see this thing. I mean, I've used it a few times. Like, all it is just a little squeezy water bottle with a brush on the end that, attaches to the water. And you can put some ink in there, you can put some color in there, and you can make that thing. Or you could just use your water markers and then spread it out as if it's watercolor. It's never made me, I don't know, spending the weekend just feeling like, oh, I'm just doing watercolor paintings, except I don't have to deal with all of the mess of doing watercolor paintings or mixing colors, which I hate to do. Yeah, I'm the worst artist ever. Oh, actually, yes, you do have swords. But anyway, this is I don't know. I picked this up one day, and I feel like this one was like $6, something, very reasonable, I thought at the time. And then when I went back, I'm like, should I get another one? Because sometimes I immediately use a different one, and then I just smear the last color in. So I went to grab another one and realized, oh, this thing was like, I mean, I think it was under $10 for sure, but in my head it was like, yeah, no more than 8, and maybe it was. But then there was other ones that were like, I'd say normal size, which was, I don't know, probably too big, unnecessarily big. They were like $20. I'm like, what's going on? This is great. It fits in my pencil case. Anyway, I can't recommend this thing enough, especially if you use water-based markers, or probably works great with watercolor paint in and of itself, or watercolor pencils, which I have, and I'll have to try with that one of these days. That's enough marker talk for today. I recommend markers. Markers are great in every possible way. So as always, I'm just going to lay down some base color, and then I'll go in with some more stronger pink for some detail and shadows in a little bit. And then, of course, it'll start to take more shape as the camera starts picking up all of the colors and contrast better. Actually, go really close, see if I can white balance this a little bit better. Yeah, as good as it gets. So, speaking of stabbing people, I think I started to say 5 minutes ago. Oh, we have all of those brushes. I'm Space Scooty. I've got space brushes. Whatever brushes you have, I've got them too. If you want some other ones, I've got them as well. You want my brushes, you can go to hell, 'cause I'm not allowed to share. That's the Space Scooty and Pat theme song about their art supplies. Beware. Actually, I know for a fact, if you do get invited over to Space Scooty and Pat's, which you won't, I will and am, but you won't. Sorry. Random people on the internet. Actually, depending on who's watching, there's a good chance you will be. But yeah, they're very generous with art supplies, hats, all kinds of just reasons and excuses to enjoy things and have fun. Very, very shareable people. That sounds like it was it's a swingers party over there, and it was. We all shared those people. But anyway, did I say something about stabbing people? Didn't stab anybody. Oh, actually, no. I don't think I told you guys this, but there's never a day where there isn't a little drama, a little play unfolding in this Truman Show that is this apartment building. So much so that I'm definitely finally at the point where I'm like, you know what? I love this. This apartment's real cool. I like it. Got a lot of character. I like the shape of it and everything. But hopefully that other crazy project will be like, you know what? Let's do this for house buying money. I want to go buy another house. Or at least, hey, I'm just going to go move into another apartment in the summer. Because I realize I can't really blame the people or the building for the people. Like, no matter what apartment building you live in, as long as there's more than 6 people, at least 2 of them will be crazy at some part of the building. Maybe they live together, maybe they don't. There's no way to predict that, but the fact remains that people are going to be crazy in an apartment building. It's just, the numbers, it's a numbers game, and volume equals more chances to win at the crazy lottery. But what extra just started irritating me is, hey, are you guys going to actually hook up the new washer and dryer? I'd love to use them, but they're not hooked up to anything. When is that going to happen? This is the longest. All the things are there. Don't make me. Should I go get a pipe and hook it up myself? Because I might. Or, I don't know, it's kind of nice hearing the laundromat guy tell me his stories of moving to this town as well. But the stabby thing is in my hallway, just outside of my apartment, and well, outside of some apartments, there's like some people clearly put up some artwork, and it's just like, oh wow, I would never think to do that in an apartment because, you know, everyone's a thief, and if you just put something out where somebody could just grab it and take it with them, they will. That's just how I see everybody, because that's how everybody kind of is sometimes. I don't know if I want to add some water to this yet. So I'm not going to put any of my artwork just up in the hallway unless it's stuff I really don't care if it disappears. And I'm not going to put anything of you know, money value that I'm afraid to lose out there. But I like the idea of it. Like, yeah, it does make it feel much cozier than to just approach a standard old dirty apartment building hallway. And the secondhand store here, I mean, there's a few, but the new to you, which used to be almost below my apartment when I lived here 20 years ago, and it's I actually live very close to where it used to be, and it's a little ways away now. But at that particular secondhand store, it's a free for all from the, you know, fairly garbagey garbage, but mostly it's like half decent stuff to, oh my god, did somebody just drop off a brand new shelving unit and or desk and now you're selling it for $3 to $20? That's insane. Like, I've got a jacket that I still wear all the time, like a winter coat that I got for $3, and it's the best. And my computer desk I got there for, I want to say, it was ridiculous. Like, it might have been something silly like $30 instead of $20, but it was probably $20. And it's like a desk with 2 levels of shelves. The keyboard tray was smashed to pieces, but I don't use keyboard trays anyway, so perfect. I would have had to smash it to pieces myself. So at that secondhand store, they have just a crazy shelf just full of pictures and paintings that people brought in, a lot of which are like, you know, when people do a puzzle and put it in a frame or like glue it all together, it's kind of some things like that. But a lot of just straight up, I went to Winners, I went to Walmart, I went to any of those stores where they sell the printed wrapped frame dealy things that, I don't know, half the time I think look great, most of the time I don't. And anyway, they had a few of those there that were like, these all go together. And they're technically like, they go with the colors of my apartment, even though they'll be outside. And they're just kind of abstract. And if anything, they remind me of some paintings that Jim, or I'm pretty sure he goes by Signal Noise on Twitch, but if you follow Signal Noise, 1,000 years ago when we lived in Halifax, his apartment had these paintings that he did that I thought were just the greatest. And it looked like those. And I'm like, well, if these are like $1 or $3, yeah, I'll grab these. I'll throw them the hallway because, you know, somebody will probably steal them. And I'm okay with losing $3 in that situation. And extra win that they look like a painting by a friend of mine. And they'll only cost me $3 instead of, you know, hundreds or thousands. So most days, I kind of take notice of them. It's not they become invisible to me. I definitely look at them and think, ah, what a nice thing that I've done here. It only affects me and the girl and whoever her friends are across the hallway, because, you know, we're the only ones at this end of the hall. There's really no need to come down this way unless you're one of her friends or one of my friends. And when I came home for Christmas, this is what confuses me is, like I said, I usually do notice them. So in my head, I feel like I came home and they were still there. But they were probably gone for at least a good full day before I realized. Because, you know, again, I was probably like carrying my luggage and all my stuff and just didn't take the time to go, my pictures that make this empty hallway not so empty. As I always do, because I'm crazy. But then, yeah, whatever it was, I went out to take the garbage out or get groceries or whatever reason it is that I leave my apartment once every 4 days. And then, yeah, and I just like suddenly realized, oh, hey, wait a second. This is very empty and cold and sterile again now, and I don't like it. And I was furious. I was legitimately furious. And if any of the outskirters out there that are watching that aren't Space Goonie and Pat, I guess I should just say, the non-Space Goonies and non-Pats out there who might not watch this stream all the time, don't know that, you know, you find a reason to sing a song. That's a thing that, when I say you, of course I mean me. And always, most of the time, the Rescue Rangers or the DuckTales theme song is resonating in my head in some way, shape, or form. And I sing the things that are happening in life to those songs. Was that the song? Probably not, because it was Christmas time. So, I don't know. I do my best. I'm not too much of a swear-faced McGee. I do my best not to turn this stream into a filthy swearing maniac thing. Oh, Streamlabs is still hosting me. Thanks, Streamlabs. And thanks for everybody who's hosting. Patrick, Mike White Robot, Andre Ballard, Grim Gia, and of course, Gusaldo, who is Douglas from Australia. But yeah, the song that I sang was, I'm gonna assume it's been a while, that it was somewhat to the tune of probably Winter Wonderland, somewhere in there, because that's kind of my go-to resonating, I don't know, just background music in my head always. I don't know why that's come about in my life, but I know that for a long time, long time, it's the only Christmas song that I really remember, ever. And I still don't remember that much of it. But I sang loud enough that people could hear me, because I naturally immediately assumed whoever did this was definitely one of the little dirtbag friends of the girl across the hall, for sure. It just for sure is somebody was like, hey, we're on our way to a Christmas party or something. We're on our way somewhere, blah, 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 something. Hey, let's take these. It will be fun, hilarious, or whatever reasoning. Or we just don't have anything. These pictures are pretty good. Let's take these as presents. And like I said, I did only spend at the magical whatchamacallit, thrift store, secondhand store, $3. Like on one picture is still there, the one that's facing my doorway when I look at my peephole. So I'm glad that one's still there. But yeah, I think it was $3, $3, and $2, or it might have been 2 for $3 and the other one was $3. Either way, less than $10 later, I earned up the hallway with some cheap mall art. And there was happiness. Oh yeah, speaking of Streamlabs, actually wearing my Streamlabs um, hoodie for once for the All Stars-ish program. Of course, it's always behind the camera. Good, good representing, Curtis. Good representing. So I'm doing everything I can to think of how the song can go without actually saying it, but basically it goes, definitely it was in a Bowie voice either way. Whenever I angry sing at the neighbors, which I've done a few times, it's always in the key of David, the key of B. But yeah, it was just like, still, it started in the hallway, like, oh, I see. And probably at this level, which people can almost definitely probably hear me somewhere in this building. But it was like, oh, hey, yeah, nobody cares. MFers just gotta steal. All I wanna do is hang a picture. These little effing P's gotta be D's. These D's are all up in my S now. And my S, I just want to stay on the wall. But it flows a lot better with the real angry, visceral swearing of the moment. So you know, after a minute or two, a few genius verses, if I do say so myself. And then, you know, once you start hearing yourself and you're like, all right, this is a dumb thing to be upset about. It's $6. You know, my brother just had a drone fly away, and as that happened, I'm just like, that's way more than $6, and I don't care, and I'm enjoying it. So again, I'm like, I hope somebody enjoyed it. I hope they had a great time with the stealing and adventure. I hope it was something good. And you know, they'll tell the story later on. Yeah, we were at my friend's apartment, these pictures were there, so we just took them off the wall. And then odds are at the party or at wherever they ended up, somebody did give them a, why you gotta do that? Come on, it was somebody's wall. So, you know, it took probably 4 or 5 more minutes longer than I'd care to not be angry at just random thieves for their random thievery. And I almost always usually have a sketchbook on the table and some markers and some pencils and things lying around. And much like the other stories I've told about, you know, people leaving their notes down by the mail that say, hey guys, can you put your garbage actually in the dumpster because it attracts rodents and birds and what have you. So do us a favor and get your garbage actually in the dumpster. It's not that hard. So I'll do like those people did, and I will also. How dark is this? This looks very dark. Leave a little note. But I'm me, so don't just take a post-it note and write a thing on it that says please and thank you, do. I grabbed 2 sketchbook slices of paper to replace both artworks on the wall. The first one, there's a quick little doodle of Milo, a little cat doodle, basically that picture without the hat and apple, that says, why did you take my pictures? I should have loaded it up. Oh, I wonder. Let me see. Let me try something here. Butterfly in the sky. I think I took a picture for this guy. So I would have a copy here. Why won't you show me the all photos? Just show me all photos. Oh, here we go. Why did you steal all my pictures? Question mark. Oops. I hope you gave them to somebody nice. You're welcome, was what one said, and the other one says, there used to be something nice here. So I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see if I can get this in the camera here. All right, yeah, this is working. So this is one. This is a wall in the hallway. So I put that up. So that's one part, and then we go over to the other part of the wall, and that's where Milo's like, "Hey, why'd you do that, dog? Why'd you do that, dog? Dog? Why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta be so cruel? Why you gotta steal my art from my wall? Make me feel like a fool, like a chump. Hey, like a chump. What? Like a chump." So I left that outside for a minute, for a day and a minute, and I'm sure I have a picture of the art in my phone somewhere as well. So the next day, I'm not sure, actually, was probably that day I started cleaning up this office a bit, and there was a bench thing that I'm like, I think I just want to get rid of it. It's there. Technically, I store stuff in it, but I could easily get rid of all of that stuff. I've never taken it out of its little storage area, therefore I probably don't need it. Let's make some space over here to store all these lights and tripods and everything. And I did. So what makes it crazy is I'm still, everyone's, there's nice, there's generous people, and they live in this building. So a lot of times people will just leave nice stuff, decent stuff in the hallway with a sign that just says free, take this. And then somebody does. Now, I debated over whether or not, does it seem like a trap? Is it funny? Or is it just insane to have two signs up in the hallway that basically say, what's wrong with you? Why would you take things? I put this out here for people to see and not to take. And then right below that, here's a bench, free, please take this. Somebody will definitely think it's a trap. So I took down my I'm angry at you for stealing pictures and instead gave them furniture to also take. Because, we're all nuts. We're all just crazy people playing a crazy game of who knows what's going on. So that alone also, again, spitefully speaking, as is usually my reason for doing most things, there's also just something fun, magical, mean-spirited, but in the most positive way possible to, oh, you're going to steal from me? Well, I'll show you. Here's some free furniture. That's what I think of your stealing. Take it. Take stuff. Here's some stuff for you to take. So if you had just waited a few minutes, sometimes instead of stealing, free stuff shows up. But we decided to take the stuff that wasn't for free first and be off with it. But that's c'est la vie, as the Patricks say. But that's the thing, I think about that every once in a while. There's rewarding bad behavior. That's presupposing that rewards and punishment actually work on everybody in the same way, which we all know that they don't. The Trailer Park Boys, again, none of that to me is like, whoa, this is crazy. Like, nope, that's how people talk. None of that seems too out there to me. That's just how it goes. A lot of people are like that. How do I know that? Because the other crazy story from inside the crazy mansion here was, I almost forgot about this the other day. There was like a couple at the bottom of the stairs in the building and a lady at the top of the stairs. I don't know which set of stairs, but they were far enough away from each other that they had to scream through my apartment, basically, in order to hear each other. So, lady at the top of the stairs basically yells, rah, 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 rah. What do you want anyway? And what I think is maybe her kids, but I can't quite tell. They just yell back, we just wanted to check on you. We wanted to make sure you're okay. She screams back from the top of the stairs, well, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I gotta go to jail. And you know what? You know what's actually got me real upset? Not the going to jail part. I gotta get over to wherever and I gotta get these papers signed. I gotta go get these papers signed, and I'm not doing it today. But yes, I do need some help. If you could help me get these papers signed before I go to jail, like that would be great. What? What's happening? What? And then later on, coming into the building, I think I actually was carrying groceries that time. Some lady comes out, and I'm pretty sure it had to be the jail lady who was like, you just seem like an old, frail, very nice lady. And I'm just like, careful out there. It's super cold, super icy. She's like, oh, like, thank you, young man, or whatever. Like, I'm pretty sure that's the I think you're the going to jail lady. What is going on in this world? What did this quiet, or not quiet, but what did this old lady do? So anyway, yeah. Whatever that lady goes to jail for is not going to make her not do whatever it is that sent her to jail. That's not what jail means to her. She doesn't need to be punished. She definitely needs some much more advanced help to get her on track, to get herself organized, to get herself together, basically. 0.3, you say? Oh, I'm sure it was probably something related to probably got all hopped up on pills or drunk somewhere and caused some kind of trouble. Stole something from a boyfriend. It's always what it is. But my real theory, my real issue, thoughts about just the rewarding bad behavior, if you will, is, people don't I mean, actually, yeah, you could even attest to this. You take care of children often, and know that kids do, the kids especially, but people in general are really not good at having a good sense of right and wrong, or they don't quite understand how to develop the reason to have a right column and wrong column in their head, um, because they just have never had any positive encouragement or been rewarded for anything good. They just know that for the most part, I got to do what I got to do to survive. And I say a lot of times, people just need generosity to kind of turn them around. They just need somebody to care for 5 seconds, or to just to give them a chance to not be a piece of garbage, or still treat them like they're a person when they're acting like garbage. Just because it is like, we live in a world where we have the phone company and we still treat the phone company like it's a real thing and they're not a bunch of jerks, even though they are a bunch of jerks. And sometimes it is just that, where I can't even remember. I almost have it in my head, but the basic crux of this story was, we've got a bunch of clothes to give away to Goodwill, and this particular person said, oh, well, like, that's my blah 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 sweater, or that's this brand of whatever. It's too nice for poor people, basically. So they straight up destroyed it. Like, no, this isn't going in the Goodwill bag. Snip, snip, snip. Like, physically destroyed a bunch of these clothes that were fine, just because, no, I would rather it be destroyed than it go to somebody else. And just like, well, then now, like, the I don't know, the Venn diagrams that start being created in my head, of what is your sense then of good, bad, right, and wrong, because this is literally so meaningless to you that you can destroy it, but it's so meaningful to you that you're destroying it, and you don't realize that that's actually why you're doing it, and because somewhere in the back of your head you're thinking, oh, someone's going to enjoy this as much as I did, and no deal. It ends with me, and I will destroy it. And to me, that's the mentality of like a Lifetime special, a Lifetime movie mom that's just like, oh, no. My boy is the most specialist boy in the world, and before he goes out and starts dating women that he thinks are better than his mother, I will murder him when he's 11. Like, wait, what? You're gonna what now? Like, it's the only way to make sure that he doesn't get corrupted by anyone else is to destroy him. And that's that's the way some people are. I've seen it firsthand. I've heard about it many times secondhand, and it mostly, as near as I can tell, has to come from a place where they were in an environment that was based on that. Like, you're not getting rewarded unless you deserve it. And because this person saw that, well, these poor people, like, they are probably just drug addicts or alcoholics, they don't deserve things. Like, well, when somebody feels like they don't deserve anything, not even free garbage, I'm not good enough for free garbage? Oh, well, then I guess you know what I am good enough for? Being hooked on drugs and drinking myself to death. Because you don't think I'm good enough for your old dirty sweater? Like, then I'm not worth anything. And this was like, I love everybody in this building because they entertain me with their weirdness and remind me that, oh, I'm not super crazy. Um, I'm just I'm just weird. I just like making things. Um, but most days, I'm just like, I hate everybody in this building. Excuse me. I feel like they are corrupt and just maniacs, trying to ruin the days of other people just because they're not happy or whatever the reason is, and is just like, and I don't even care. But then at a certain point, it's like, oh yeah. So you had a bad day. The camera don't lie, something else, and you turn it around. Um, Without those little instances in a person's life of, wow, I thought the whole world was against me, and no matter how hard I tried, it doesn't matter, so I might as well just be a thief and a maniac. And then all of a sudden, the exact bench that I needed was just there waiting for me. Oh, maybe the universe is looking out for me. Maybe it is God. Maybe it is the magical elves that I believe in. Like whatever it is that sets that person on a proper path of being happy with themselves and happy not stealing from me. And it's like, great, awesome. If I had smashed up that bench and hucked it into the dumpster, then, you know, I would know that it was like, that was still perfectly fine. 1,000 people could have used that for free. I probably could have sold it still for, $30 on a Kijiji or what have you. But it was like, I don't need $30. I don't need the hassle of talking to somebody that's not worth $30 to me. I would rather just went away. I could have brought it to the secondhand store, is what I normally do with it, and they'll sell it, and all of the money at that specific secondhand store goes into the community. It helps people. It has a bunch of programs to help people who are either in underprivileged or mentally, physically. I want to say challenged, able, whatever the word is now. It helps a lot of people do a lot of things. So it's very much worth it to donate stuff to that place. But I know that the people in this building, somebody in this building is going to go to that secondhand store. I go to that secondhand store and get furniture for this place. That's where this thing came from. And if those same people could get something they can get there for free without having to lug it back here, then why not? I'll put it out. If nobody takes it, then I'll still take it to the secondhand store myself before some maniac does decide, oh, I'm just going to have fun smashing this and throwing it into a dumpster. But it's still, yeah, it's all just like what your priorities are, how many people that you've met that their whole thing is hunting down other people, not because the justice is needed, but for some reason, I don't know. I have like Batman fantasies, Superman fantasies in my head all the time of, oh, that person, they deserve. If I just, it's like, just what? I don't want to haul off. I don't want to smash somebody in the face because. When you do run up on a thief, they're almost never like in the movies where they give you a reason for Batman to beat them half to death. They're the downtrodden. They're the Fievel Goes West, the American Tale version. They're the stealing of bread to feed their family. They just, again, we live in a world where priorities are all over the place. So it is like, oh, maybe I will just smash open this car and take whatever's in here. And that might help my life. That's what thieves are usually like. They're sad and desperate. It's not usually the Gandolfinis, the Sopranos, doing things. Unless you get up on more of a global scale with the politicians and then the Trumps and whatever that are like, oh, you're straight up the criminal element from movies. That's what we should be looking out for. And everybody else, we should just, hey, you got an old table? give it away. You desperate for money? Sell your old table. But again, that still goes back to like the craziness of daddening, where my dad literally like I had this one neighbor that I hated. He would just mow his lawn incessantly and basically complain that I didn't mow my lawn enough, and was like, it's fine, it doesn't bother me, and then purposely get his lawn clippings all over my like garden type stuff. And anyway, I hated him. He was just an angry old man. But my dad was like, yeah. There's always one of those guys. Like, oh, he's like, what's great about those guys? He's like, just killing them with kindness. He's like, what the best thing you could do? He's like, you know how to make a pie? Like, no, I don't make pies. He's like, go get a nice pie. Go to the bakery, get a nice pie. Take it over to him. Maybe sit down and have a slice with him, or whatever. It was like, no. I'm not spending more time with this old man. Like, that's like, I get what you're doing. Like, that's awesome. Like, that's the best spite, fight, revenge possible. Is if somebody's awful, bring them a real nice pie and sit down and eat it with them. That's kind of the worst thing you could do to a crazy curmudgeon. But I wasn't going to torture myself with spending any time with this man. He was, A, I have to do most of the talking, and B, I can tell that he does not like a word that I say, or my accent, or anything about me at all. And he likes to shoot guns. And he keeps bringing up how he likes to shoot guns towards the back of my yard. So whatever. But again, you were, right. You're like, yes, you're right. The thing, if I am going to fight against this guy, the best way to fight him is by bringing him some delicious dessert. And same as in this instance, instead of leaving a bunch of notes everywhere and calling, I don't know, the police, doing whatever, instead, give them something. If they're looking for something, give them something. That's usually, the same as when you're being mugged or whatever. Give them your wallet, give them your money. Odds are they're just going to take the cash out, throw the important stuff on the ground. You pick that up a few minutes later, and away you go. Do I want to get mugged? Nope. Is it going to be that smoothly if and when it happens? Nope. I remember we're walking through Halifax. It was me, my friend Amanda, and Harold, I think, possibly somebody else. And we were going through an area that two of us didn't know that well, but Harold did. And he was like, oh, hey, I think this is that place where that guy pulled a gun on me. And we were like, here's the what, where what now? Like, nobody's really pulled a gun on us in our life. We didn't come from the city. So, I mean, yeah, there was rifles around. Nobody pulled one of those on me. I may have been shot with a few pellet or BB guns while I cried, please, please no, don't shoot me with that. Yeah, he was fully like, I was like on this side of the fence, and at the opening to the fence, or right after the opening to the fence, this guy comes up on me and he like points, and I think he was in his jacket, but he showed him that it was a gun, I believe, so it was extra terrifying. But then they basically got to the end of the fence where the other guy was blocked in, and Harold just kept walking, and he was like, and I just kept walking, and he didn't shoot me, and it was crazy because it was like, wow, he didn't jump the fence, he didn't anything, he just, I just kept walking. Like, thankfully, everyone's a little bit stupid. As always, I kind of wish I had just left this painty. Instead of adding black markers. Black markers on the Triceratops smile. Black markers on his horns for a while. Black markers if you please. Can't think of any of the other stories. Should have taken some notes this week. Oh, I was gonna try, and I got a podcast there that has to go up. That's been waiting to be edited and uploaded all week long. But between trying to work, trying to start that other project, plus halfway through that thing, I thought of another just super genius, I think, still probably fairly annoying animated short idea. Oh, now I remember what I wanted to talk about. Yeah, last week, I had an idea for a short, and then I just did it. Took about a week, which is about a week longer than I thought, because it was supposed to be just a few minutes of both work and animation. But yeah, let's watch that now, and then we'll come back, and I'll tell you the dark secrets of the Fireplace Fox. And yeah, try not to fall asleep. It's a pretty exciting little short movie. Please enjoy. That's movie. Seems the sound was a little bit off there on the Twitch version, but close enough. There's no dialogue or anything to really sync up. But basically, the reason that whole thing exists is Tara was working on a short film about a little fox, or about a fox in some way, I don't know. But whatever it was, she said something about the length, and I was like, oh, it's not feature length. I thought this was going to be your feature length movie. And she said, ha ha ha, no, I'd have to add like 40 minutes of filler. And I was like, oh, well, what I learned from the holidays was you could totally just, have the little fox just go somewhere and like just end up watching the Fireplace channel for a while, and like keep cutting back and forth, keep zooming in, just spend forever, just spend 40 minutes on the Fireplace channel like that. I think that's a great idea. And of course, just as a joke, just fully like, it's not a great idea, it's definitely a dumb idea. But by the end of the conversation, it was, you know what? Actually, I'm going to take that dumb idea that you shouldn't do, and I'm just going to do it as the whole movie. And honestly, if not for the fact that I put so many like just little textures and glows to make the fire and just the little artiness of it, that the computer kind of couldn't handle me just letting it run for like 5 minutes at a time, which I was kind of going to do, and just make a handful of just a loop, just what you just watched, except for 40 minutes. And by what you just watched, I mean that except nothing happening. It's only the fox watching the fire, fox watching the fire. Fox doesn't do anything except for blink and the tail thing. That was it. 40 minutes. Again, just to be a spiteful maniac. Here's my film idea, and oh, and not even the rendering of it, like just its existence within Flash was just too much. Like I couldn't move anything, I couldn't do anything as fast as I wanted anyway. Like for 5 minutes of animation work time, I think I said that last week actually, it was like, 30 minutes of just if I hit save and like sitting there waiting forever just for it to save almost nothing. But in the end, or I would say in the beginning, when I started, about 30 seconds into it, it was like, I'm already bored with this. I need something to happen. So that's when he started reacting. He wasn't going to enter the room. It was just going to be sitting on the couch, sitting on the chair, and the fire on the TV. That's it. Nothing else. Like, just pure spite movie, not about anything. But I just couldn't. It's like I have to have something happen, or else it's a waste of everyone's time. And I'm going to have to watch it back, and I'm not going to be able to make it through 5 to 40 minutes of the exact same thing. So animation was added, things were added. Tried to make it as cute as possible, and I don't know. I'd like to think what I was trying to achieve was achieved, and that's all you can ask for. When you're making dumb things for the sake of making dumb things. I'm tempted to add a little background color square. Let's grab this overly blue. mess with this. Excuse me. There, as always, I never sign anything. Okay, so weird, I can't get this whole thing. The sketchbook is like a quarter the size of my normal sketchbook, and I can't get it to fit into the camera. But I should have done it sidewise. Ooh, did I grab... Didn't grab any scrap paper, but there's one page in here. On the back of this turtle. And then we'll do a quick game of countdown. Beep boop ba 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 boo boo boo. Beep boop ba. And like I say, every week I'm going to randomly select 9 letters from my random letter selector over here. Some consonants and some vowels. And just like the British game of countdown, we'll have 30 seconds. There is a clock that will show up, and whoever gets the longest word is the winner. And we're mostly all just trying to beat Pat. And it's countdown versus Pat. First letter is I, the vowel I. There. That's a bunch of extra time to make up some I words. And, alright, so there's a 2 already. C, incorporated, doesn't count. And Y, and B, no. L, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we need some more real vowels over here. An O. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and a T. And we'll see if we can't get one more vowel to pop up on the random letter generator on another O. All right then. Those are all on the screen. Inclubloto. Then your 30 seconds starts now. All right. Did anybody come up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? All right. Anybody come up with any words? And by any words, I mean everybody gets one word each. One word each. Pat's got a 5-letter word. Space Goonie's got a 5-letter word. The heat is already very tight. And oh, those chipmunks in with a 6. The Daily Chipmunks might pull it out this time. And anybody else is on there, we usually declare the number of letters in our best word, and then we declare the word. If you want to throw your word out there, that's fine as well. But yeah, it looks like the Daily Chipmunks, if it's a real word, are probably going to win. I think best I can come up with is maybe a 5. Yeah, yeah. Booty is all I had. Toonie's good. Clinty chipmunks. Clinty. I don't know about these chipmunks. I don't know. I'm gonna, especially if it's all in caps. So since the chipmunks tried to cheat, and since I blame the chipmunks' actions on Pat, that means that Space Goonie is the winner. I think there's 2 T's in that Space Goonie. No, that's what I thought. Like Clint Eastwood, it's very Clinty, of course. But it could also be very Hawkeye-ish. But either way, disqualified. The chipmunks are disqualified. The penguin is unimpressed. It's time for us to end our show. And this lady is undressed. We've got our Tyrannosaurus here, or our Stachiosaurus, Stasiosaurus. And I'll make sure I use the right name for that. If I could find where I got it from. Here we go. A Styracosaurus. Fair enough. Barely an inconvenience. And all of the little Ryan Georges of the world, go and be a sexy dinosaur, and have your adventures, make your arts, do what you want, and laugh at your farts. That rhymed, so that makes it okay. Thanks once again for stopping by the stream, for playing our games and watching our monsters that aren't so mean. I'll hit the credits key. It's never what I think. No, it's not. That would have started the clock again. That's our stream. It didn't mean to be mean. Just saying things about the things that I have seen, as well as heard, because people like to scream what they're doing into my world. No such thing as grownups.com for podcasts and, of course, animations and books and stuff. It's easy. It's just a click. It's not that rough. There's no more music now. I'll hit the stop streaming button. This one, I think. Replay. Hey, sweetest angel. Can you stop the stream now? You can press the button. It stops the stream. Ripley? Thank you.